cha toka tu. Sasa sijajua alikuwa na maana gani. Hanifa Oman Buya. Nixon Clement Kibabage Nixon Duke Abuya William Edgar Fontaine kwenye miliki wa mpira. Salum Kihimbwa wanaokosea cheza na goalkeeper Jigwi Diara, kikosi cha Young Africans. Hakikisha una subscribe, lakini pia hakikisha unaandika ujumbe wako mfupi chini ya matangazo haya, tutausoma, ishara kwamba uko pamoja na sisi. Young Africans kwenye miliki wa mpira. Clement Walidi Mzize, Duke Abuya, Dickson Job, Ibrahim Abdullah Ahmad Baka, Dickson Job. Dakika 2 zikiondoka za kipindi cha pili. Pigo pasi kule, anaondosha Fountain Gate Shafik Batambuz. Eldinho Mokono ameochela mpira, ni Mudathir Yahya Abbas. Stefan Aziziki imewekwa ile kwa Chris Dube, ameondosha Anak Mtambi. Clement Mzize umekwenda nje, mwamuzi anaamuru ni goal kick akacheze Fountain Gate Football Club. Wakati wa Fountain wamenyenyua wachezaji 4 5 wakifanya warm up, wakipasha misuli kwa kesi yoyote ama kwa wakati wowote huenda akatambulishwa mchezoni. Cheza mpira mrefu, anaondosha Ibrahim Abdullah Baka. Duke Abuya, Dickson Job, Duke Abuya, Dickson Job, Jigwi Diara. Mechi imeanza kama ilivyoanza kipindi cha kwanza, taratibu sana, mipango ikionekana ni mingi, lakini huenda ikachanganya dakika za mwisho kama ilivyokuwa kipindi cha kwanza pia. Ibrahim Baka, Kibabage Nixon umetolewa nje na Anak Mtambi. Young Africans kwenye miliki ya mpira. Duke Abuya, Maxim Pia Nzengeli, Israeli Patrick Mwenda, Maxim Nzengeli, Duke Abuya, Ibrahim Abdullah, Mudathir Yahya Abbas. Mekwa pasi ile kwa Maxim Pia Nzengeli. Maxim Nzengeli, mpira umekwenda nje. Goal kick. Wakati kwenye jumbe fupi ni Sidik Abu, mimi sihitaji 5 wala 3, muhimu alama 3, ndicho alichokiandika. Petro Sla anasema tunamhitaji Chasambi, kati Madam Simila anasema Mzize ni shemeji. Sasa shemeji kwa nani wanafahamiana wao? Salma Rashid anasema Yanga raha, kimbilia ule mpira ni Jigwi Diara. Dickson Job, William Edgar anapoka mali kwake Eldinho Eli Mokono. Eli Mokono, Eldinho Mokono. Mpira umekwenda nje, ni kona akacheze Fountain Gate. Wakati wa Fountain wanahisi walistahili kuwa na penalty.
Ukitazama tukio ambalo limepelekea mpira mpaka kwenda nje, unatazama Yanga wamekosea takriban mara 2 kwenye eneo lao la kuchezea. Wamekosea mara ya kwanza baada ya goalkeeper Diara kuchelewa kutoka kwenye mpira, Fountain wakaukuta, lakini Diara akaja akauchukua, akatani, akapunguza, akacheza na Jobu akatisha. Baada ya kutisha Jobu, wakapitia tena ambaye alikuwa ni Elimu Kono na kuingia kwenye box la Young Africans. Ameweza kumshawishi muamuzi hajashawishika, kwa sababu inaonekana kama amegongwa, lakini Baka ambaye alikuwa nyuma yake akumgonga, ambaye alikuja mbele yake akalala, ambaye alikuwa ni Dickson Jobu. Jobu ndio alikuwa nyuma, mbele alikuwa Baka, lakini inaonekana hakumfikia, lakini anaugulia maumivu na anapatiwa matibabu. Lakini ukimwangalia anang'ata meno, lakini anaonekana yuko tayari kurudi mchezoni na kuendelea na mchezo.
Mpira wa kona wanacheza. Fountain Gate ya mpira kule unakwenda nje, ni kona pacha, kona pili mfululizo wakipata. Fountain Gate na anakwenda kucheza ni Salum Kihimbwa. Kihimbwa Salum, kona pili kwa Fountain Gate, wakati Young Africans wakicheza kona tatu. Imeamuriwa ama imeruhusiwa kuchezwa mpira kona ule. Salum Kihimbwa weka mpira kule, Edgar William kautoa nje, ni goal kick. Wakacheze tena Young Africans. Yara anauliza nini? Kwendewani Edgar William. Cha kufurahisha ni kwamba Edgar William aliruka zaidi kuliko Ibrahim Abdul,
lakini walikuwa naye karibu alikuwa ni Kibabage, ambaye Kibabage anaonekana kaenda kama ushahidi, ana kimo kidogo na hawezi kumfikia Edgar William.
Stefan Azizi Ki wana block tena Fountain Gate. Shafik Batambuz, Daniel Joram na Mudathir ameutoa mpira nje, ni wa kurusha kuelekezwa upande wa kikosi cha Young Africans, kisha kurusha Shafik Batambuz. Salum Kihimbwa, Daniel Joram, Shafik Batambuz, ndefu ile imechezwa. Edgar William kwenye bato ile cheza na Salum ni Shafik Batambuz. Ni madhambi yamefanyika na mpira upigwa uelekezwa upande wa kikosi cha Fountain Gate.
Ukitazama Fountain Gate wanavyocheza na Young Africans wanavyocheza, unaweza kuwaona Fountain Gate kwamba kuna kitu wanakitafuta na huenda wakakipata hicho kitu kama watakuwa watulivu, kwa sababu Yanga wanaonekana kukosea mara nyingi sana, lakini Fountain wanashindwa kunufaika na makosa Young Africans.
Mpira umekwisha kuanza tena Fountain Gate. Jackson Kataga Shiga anakimbilia, umepoko tena na vijana klabu Young Africans. Fountain wenyewe ameunyang'anya mali ile. William Edgar 1v1 ile umekwenda nje. Ibrahim Abdullah Baka ndiye aliyotoa nje. Kona anakwenda kucheza Fountain Gate. Dakika 53, Salum Kihimbwa weka kona ile imekwenda nje. Goal kick. Katio kwenye ujumbe mfupi, Kenny the King of Minerals asema ushindi ni lazima, Yanga nguvu moja. Petro Sila anasema mai wetu alitoa sare hapa kwa Raha Stadium. Mkombozi Mtaula anasema kutoka Sadan hao watoto wame lo, jumbe nyingine ngumu sana kwenda nazo hewani. Hagai Enoki anasema Yanga bingwa. Julie Mbeko anasema safi sana chama langu, ushindi ni muhimu. Idi Majala, timu moja imejigawa inacheza na Yanga. Stefan Azizi Ki imewekwa kwa Maxi Nzengeli, mpira umekwenda nje, ni kona. Kona anapata Young Africans kwenye shambulizi la kujibu wakati wanashambuliwa wao. Pasi ilitoka kwa Stefan Azizi Ki, shuti lake likawa blocked na Shafik Batambuz. Kuna ishara mabadiliko inaonekana, anayekwenda nje Mudrik Shea anakwenda nje
na Kihimbwa pia anaonekana anakwenda nje.
Salum Kihimbwa pia anakwenda nje. Tutakufahamisha alioingia wakati wao wanasikiliza pigo la kona. Anakwenda kucheza ni Stefan Azizi Ki. Mwamuzi anambia subiri kwanza ingie uwanjani kwa sababu nilisimamisha mchezo kwa sababu hiyo. Wakisha kwanza kona ile. Hassan Mei ametambulisha mchezoni mbadala wa Kihimbwa. Maxim pia Nzengeli. Imekuwa kwa Stefan Azizi Ki. Maxim Nzengeli weka header ile, mpira unakwenda nje. Attempt nyingine akifanya Young Africans ambayo ilikuwa ni bora, lakini mpira ukaenda nje.
Yanga walitengeza shambulizi ambao Mudathiri haya basi aliweza kuunodi ule mpira kwa kichwa, lakini ukakosa target, lakini ungerudi ndani huenda Dube angefunga kirahisi zaidi. Lakini Yanga kipindi cha pili walianza down, lakini Fontaine walikuwa wameimarika sana, lakini mwisho wa siku unaona Yanga wanaanza kurudi mchezoni taratibu, wanataka kupambana na kuweza kuongeza gap ambalo lililopo sasa.
Yamefanyika madhambi wakacheze wananchi Young Africans. Mpira na Young Africans, Stefano Aziziki, Ibrahim Abdullah Baka, Hashim Omar ametambulishwa mchezoni kuchukua nafasi ya Mudrik Sheh. Mudathiri Yahya bas anakimbilia William Edgar. Yes, cheza na Abdallah Kulandana. Eldinho Eli Mokono amondosha Kibabage kwake Prince Mpumelelo Dube. Dube Prince cheza, goalkeeper Ibrahim Rashid Parapanda. On target nyingine, walikwisha kuanza kuhesabu watu waliopo jukwani, hususan alipo afisa habari wa kikosi cha Young Africans.
Na Dube aliweza kumuibia beki wakati baada ya kumuibia ule mpira akuupiga kwa nguvu. Alichokifanya kuupiga upande wa pili, lakini bado ule mpira haukwenda kwenye eneo sahihi ambalo angeweza Dube kunufaika nalo. Kondo kilichotokea hapa, Parapanda ameweza kufanya save na lango lake limeendelea kuwa salama. Lakini pia unaweza kukumbusha leo ni tarehe 21, Mwamba yuko jukwani hapa anaifuatilia timu yake. Na bado unaona Yanga kama wana njaa magoli, kwa sababu Dube ana magoli 12, Mzize ana magoli 12, lakini kuna mtu anawafuata kwa karibu, namzungumzia Jonathan Soa ambaye ana magoli 11, lakini Jean Charles Ahoua ana magoli 12. Kwa hiyo wanataka walau Dube au Mzize mmoja wapo au wote wawili wapate goli moja, waanze kutengeneza ile madaraja ya kupishana kwa idadi kubwa ya magoli.
Mpira ameudaka goalkeeper Djigui Diarra. Ameanza na Mudathiri Yahya bas. Young Africans hawajafanya mabadiliko yoyote. Fontaine akifanya mabadiliko matatu, na lile la kwanza la goalkeeper Ibrahim Rashid Parapanda. Stefano Aziziki, Azizi Stefano, Kibabage, Nixon Clement Mzize kwa Stefano Aziziki. Amewini mpira Daniel Joram. Eldinho Eli Mokono, Hashim Omar. Cheza Young Africans na goalkeeper wao Djigui Diarra. Cheza Mudathir Yahya bas. Duke Abuya Duke. Through pass ile kwa Nixon Clement Kibabage. Kata upepo mapema, mpira umekwenda nje. Ni wakurusha kuelekeza upande wa kikosi cha Yanga. Umekwisha kwanza, Abdallah Kulandana, Anak Mtambi kwenda wani ile. Yanga amenyang'anya mali. Dickson Chop, Maxim pia Nzengeli. Maxim Nzengeli, Mudathir Yahya bas, Clement Walid Mzize, Maxim Nzengeli, Israel Patrick, Maxim Nzengeli weka mpira, kuna anacheza bado, amondosha na kutoa nje.
Safari
Shafik Batambu zikotoa nje, ni kona.
Ameacha uchoyo na amemsetia Mzize, ambaye Mzize aliunganisha vile, lakini Makame kafanya kazi ya ziada kuweza kumziba Dube asiweze kufanya chochote kwenye lango lao. Tofauti na hapo, Dube alikuwa ananufaika na mpira ambao golikipa Parapanda ameucheza na ukarudi.
Mpira kona, anayekwenda kucheza ni Stefano Aziziki. Kona ya 5 kwa wananchi, kona 3 kwa Fontaine. Azizi ameanza kona fupi kwa Duke Abuya Duke. Stefano Aziziki, goal kick. Dakika ya 60, Fountain Gate 0, Young Africans 2. Uwanja ni Tanzanite kwa raha Babati mkoani Manyara. Uwanja ambao waliojenga inawezekana hawakuwa na hesabu hizi za kuwashuhudia Fountain Gate siku moja kitumia uwanja huu kama uwanja wao nyumbani, kwa sababu hawakuwa na timu yoyote ya ligi kuu, na bahati mbaya Manyara hata timu ya daraja la kwanza hawana.
na unaweza kuthubutu kwamba hawakutarajia kwamba Simba na Yanga watacheza kwenye uwanja huu. Maana yake anaweza kacheza Fountain Gate lakini akawa yupo kwenye daraja la chini, lakini mwisho wa siku wanakutana na Yanga hapa, wanakutana na Simba hapa, Azam wanakuja hapa na mambo yanaenda vizuri.
Kwenye miliki wa mpira Young Africans, mwamuzi ametoa advantage kwa Yanga lakini anaondosha Shafik Batambos. Hakikisha una subscribe, hakikisha unafanya hivyo. William Edgar weka pasi ile tena kwa William Edgar. Yena Dickson Job, mpira umekwenda nje, ni kona. Ametoa nje Captain Shaka Dick Job. Na Fontaine anakwenda kucheza mpira kona. Kona ya 4 kwa Fontaine. Young Africans wakicheza kona 5. Sawa na kona 9 ndani ya dakika 61. Kwenda kucheza ni Eli Mokono. Eli Mokono. Weka kona ile. Wana block Young Africans, mali na kwenda tena kwa Eli Mokono. Mokono. Daniel Joram anakwenda hewani lakini anawini mpira. Clement Walid Mzize. Abdalla Kulandana. Hassan Almei. Daniel Joram. Hassan Ali na Kibabage. Umekwenda nje ule mpira. Warushe ni Fountain Gate, anayekwenda kurusha ni Anak Mtambi. Sasa baada ya mabadiliko kutoka kwa Mudrik Shea, Anak Mtambi amerejea kucheza beki wa kulia. Hesabu zimekaa kama ambavyo ilivyokuwa, ama kama ambavyo watu wengi wanafahamu. Young Africans wakimnyanyua Cletus Chota Chama,
wakati Fontaine wakienda kumaliza sabu.
Fountain Gate anakwenda kumaliza sabu. Anatoka nje Abdalla Kulandana. Anatambulishwa Mtenja Rubano.
Hajawahi kufungwa goli zaidi ya 2 akiwa kiwanjani, akafungwa.
Anakwenda nje,
tusubiri.
Anakwenda nje ni Eli Mokono. Na anatambulishwa mchezoni ni Frank Anton. Mabadiliko kwa upande wa klabu ya Fountain Gate Ramadhan. Yanalenga nini hasa?
Wanataka kuendelea kushindana eneo la katikati, lakini pia waendelee kushambulia na kupata magoli, kwa sababu Fountain Gate ameonekana Edgar William kuwa na uhai mkubwa na anawapa shida sana mabeki wa Yanga. Ana nguvu na ana speed, kwa hiyo akiongezeka wengine wanaweza wakamsaidia, kila kitu kaweza kwenda vizuri.
Wameanzisha Young Africans. Jigui Diara, Dickson Job, Maxim pia Nzengeli yena Daniel Joram, Maxim Nzengeli, Israeli Patrick Mwenda, Ibrahim Abdullah Madbaka.
Premier League now, he's got that. I think that's where a lot of teams struggle coming up to the Premier League from the Championship. It's those physical attributes.
Manor Solomon is one because he's on loan.
Obviously, and they would love to keep hold of him. Whether they do, I think it's a different story. Obviously, Spurs have struggled this season, so they probably want him back, in all honesty. So yeah, there's definitely more than a few in there that can make the jump up. And obviously we've got Dan James that's played Premier League football as well.
His stats are amazing, Dan James, and of course it's a shame he misses out today because of his hamstring. Jayden Bogle now from the right hand side of the Stoke penalty area, floated back to Tanaka. Tanaka to Bogle once more, looking to whip one in from that side. Oh, brilliant work, gets around his man, loads it across the box. Oh, it's fumbled home. It's Junior Firpo for Leeds United. It's a 4th goal for Leeds United on a day which was meant to be a gigantic promotion party. The Leeds players have lived up to their billing, and Junior Firpo fumbles in. Leeds is 4th. It's now Peru with 3, Firpo with 1, and it's Leeds in party time. Leeds 4, Stoke City 0.
Jayden Bogle, wow. We'll talk about Firpo in a minute. Obviously, he's the goal scorer, but he has been absolutely on fire, Jayden Bogle. The way that he keeps going down the right-hand side, he's always finding the right pass. He's got the skill, he's got the ability, and the way that he just goes past. And I'll be honest, it's not the cleanest of finishes from Firpo. Sort of bounces off him towards the goal. It actually goes sort of over
his shin,
it comes off his shin. It bounces over Johansson, but he won't care, and rightly so. It doesn't matter. It's in the back of the net. He actually shins it into the ground. I don't think he could do it again if he tried. Shins it into the ground over the top of the Stoke City goalkeeper. But again, take nothing away from the build-up in Leeds United, and as I keep saying, it could be anything. Well, now we're at 4, and yeah, at the end of the 90 minutes, I have no idea what this could be.
It's a 4th championship goal for Junior Firpo, who did his best to miss that, by the way, with that shin. If you think of your 2 fullbacks, Bogle with 6 goals, Firpo with 4 for the season, and this is part of the beauty of this Leeds side, that they've all chipped in, haven't they, from all areas.
Yeah, and it's something that I mentioned, and we were talking, I think it was me and Mark Wilson when I was last here for the Preston game, and his woes in front of goal comparatively. I'll stop now because they're on the attack again, Leeds.
And it could be anything today as Bogle tries to get it in towards Peru. It's instead picked up on that right hand side with a pass that doesn't quite come off. Stoke doing their best to clear it, but Leeds through Tanaka trying to drive the momentum forward once again. Now Stoke have got it away. Here's Millian Manhoff into the centre circle. There's 3 white shirts back defending. Manhoff loads it forward to Al Hamadi, and then coming out is Carl Darlow, who scuffers it low at the feet of Al Hamadi. He really hasn't been involved in the game, Al Hamadi. He's been a bystander. He's in for Sam Gallagher today. The two of them have shared responsibilities since January, but this is a game that's just not set up for a Stoke striker.
No, it's not, and I feel for him. I've been there myself, and you're thinking when you're 3 or 4 goals down, you've been starved of service, you're sitting there thinking, what can I do here? He's obviously he's going to keep running when the opportunity comes, trying to chase that ball down there, but it's one of those as a player where it's a thankless task, quite frankly.
Leeds nearly coming again down the right hand side. Last time they were beaten at home in the Championship, September the 14th, against, yes, that team who were vying them at the top, Burnley. That's how much of a dominance it's been, particularly at home for Leeds United. And when they score first, they're exceptionally hard to beat. And today really takes that to a different level, because they scored first through Perot, then 2 minutes later he scored a second. Stoke were on the blocks, they never quite refound their footing. Peru added a third, and then a 4th from Junior Firpo, and this game was closed off before 15 minutes had been played.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's interesting actually as well. Not so long back, young Harry Gray goes out, warms up, gets a massive ovation, and you're looking at this 4-0 up, and no, don't get me wrong, Daniel Farke doesn't strike me as someone that's just going to put him on for the sake of it, but what a big moment and wonderful moment that could be, and obviously for the Gray family in general, so synonymous with this club.
Willie Gnonto on the left hand side attacking Stoke City. You've got 11 players back for Stoke, and Leeds with a hunger and appetite that won't go away for goals. They've scored 4 already in half an hour. Tanaka on the ball, and the young man just mentioned by Courtney coming past with some of the subs and getting some applause as Al Hamadi tries to break clear, but he doesn't even get to the edge of the centre circle before Leeds pick it up again, and Manor Solomon drives down the left hand side. Gnonto's available, but rolled in instead to Firpo in the box, who laughs because he knows that they're just having fun playing the balls around this Stoke defence at the moment. That one thrighted into Gnonto, but he's a yard offside, according to the linesman on the far side, and that'll just give a breather to a Stoke side who are well and truly on the canvas.
They really are. They've almost gone into a one as the goalkeeper, 4 across the back, and then another line in front of that. Is they don't know what to do there. Even the coaching staff, to be fair, they're all out for Stoke City. Mark Robins is cutting a very frustrated figure. They're trying to remedy it, but sometimes you just got to give credit to Leeds. They're at a point now where they're just playing so well. Obviously everything that's going on around it, what it means to them, you almost sometimes as a footballer, and it doesn't happen very often, go into a flow state where everything's right, everyone's working off each other. It's almost telepathic, the balls that you play to each other, and that's the moment that Leeds United are in now, and it's so difficult to try and stop that.
I'm putting it into context for Stoke City. 7 points clear of the relegation zone, 3 to play. They probably feel they've almost done enough. There was different priorities today, but Leeds' was far greater than Stoke, and Stoke have just found it very hard to get any sort of momentum together. Here's Rodon with the ball at his feet, coming out of his penalty area. Tanaka takes it over. Such a composed figure for them in midfield. And out to Solomon on the left wing. Stroked back to Ethan Ampadu. The only blemish today was a yellow card for Ethan Ampadu so far. Now Jayden Bogle on the right wing to Nonto, who is onside. He sweeps across in, just too far ahead of Joel Peru. If someone had been coming in on the far side of the 6-yard box, it would have caused a few flutters for Stoke City. The cross was okay, but Peru has maybe just gone to the wrong area.
Yeah, it's the only thing he's done wrong today, hasn't it? Everything else that he's done is his touch has turned to gold. But you know what I like about this from Leeds United, and every time someone gets on the ball, the fans are shouting shoot anywhere within 30 yards, but it's still professional. You know, they're doing everything right there. They're not doing anything different in terms of absolutely flooding bodies forward and trying to overrun Stoke any more than they usually would. They just keep plugging on, doing the right things, and they're very professional. I like that.
Well, we've already had one commentary on TalkSport 2 today. Newport against Walsall, 12:30 kick-off, brought to you by Dance and Sam Park in cracking finale, which saw a goal ruled out for a handball. So that one ended a point apiece. Brilliant stuff from Dance and Sam Park, and myself, Steve Hothersall, and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk bringing you Leeds 4, Stoke City 0 with 34 minutes played. And then a third TalkSport commentary of the day, exclusively on the TalkSport network. Burnley against Sheffield United kicks off at 5:30. Adam Bridge and Chris oh my God, how long have I known Chris?
It's the excitement.
I still can't say his name. Chris is going to bring you the commentary with him. My God, he'll kill me when I see him. Now, player down for Stoke City at the moment, just inside their own half. And the treatment's taken a while. I don't know whether this has given a chance for Mark Robins to actually sort things out amongst his players, but there's definitely a briefing going on this near side touchline.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying, don't get me wrong, but I just think it's, as I say, a moment where Leeds United are playing so well. They've barely put a foot wrong. The movement is incredibly dynamic. Everything is with purpose. All the passing, the weight of pass, very, very good. They're just coming up against a Leeds United team that are playing very well. They've been very clinical, and it's unfortunate for Stoke, and sometimes you just can't stop it. Equally, defensive shape, there's little bits and bobs you can argue, but by now, 35 minutes in, you're 4-0 down. There's not, other than literally going 6 at the back and 4 in front of those, I don't know how you change it as Mark Robins.
Courtney, could I just say Iwelumo? And
sometimes
even commentates that brain freeze.
You have to wait for the moment.
I've had it on air with him before. Sorry, Chris. Here's Willie Nonto.
I just call him Big Chris.
Big man. The big man. It's Tanaka. Now Gruev. It's been a simple day for these two. As Tanaka plays it out to the right side. He's been there. Well, you could say one of their players of the match. On the right is Bogle. Lovely 1-2. Gets Nonto into space. Oh, he should have scored, or he should have helped Peru to score. Well, Nonto exceptional there, involved in the 1-2. If he just slid a ball 5 yards into Joel Peru, that was a fifth of the game for Leeds. But somehow it flashes across the 6-yard box.
Well, there's an argument. Either Nonto as you say, he can score. He's got to be more precise into Piru, or, in all fairness, it's not a bad ball, but it's just that second phase of the line of the attack. Leeds United have to have someone there.
Solomon now, as Leeds maintain this harassment of the Stoke penalty area. Ball comes back to Ampadu, now Rodon, and out to Gruev on the left hand side. Leeds United 4, Stoke 0. This one's through to Firpo. Firpo thinking of a second for himself, but that required a diving lunge from Pearson to cut the ball out for a Leeds corner.
Yeah, the only thing that with Firpo there is I think he just maybe hesitates, and that just gives the time for that defensive tackle from Pearson. Maybe the only thing that Leeds have done wrong so far.
Now corner for Leeds United, away to our left hand side. One hand up from Manor Solomon. There's at least 4 white shirts in that Stoke 6-yard box. Now more rush in there. The ball's come through to Tanaka on the far side. Drops out to Willie Nonto. It might spill to the feet of Peru. It doesn't. Firpo takes a shot, but it deflects off Baker, and it's come back out of the Stoke penalty area. Solomon puts it back in. This is comfortable for once for Johansson to catch.
Yeah, and again, the second phase, every time it drops, Leeds United players always there. The first ball, the second ball, the third ball, they're just, because they've got that energy, they're on the front foot ready to attack. I wonder if Peru doesn't quite go for this, just because he might think he's offside, and you see, instead of sort of stretching a foot out for it, he does that thing hands up as if to say, I'm not interfering with play, and I think he knew he was offside and was hoping that there was another Leeds United teammate there to tap that one in after the save.
Well, thanks for joining myself and Courtney for Leeds against Stoke in the EFL Championship live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the app, get reward points. 18 plus participating restaurants, delivery fees and terms apply. See mcdonalds.com. A showcase of Leeds United's abilities today, and Daniel Farke as their manager. He won championship promotion from the title with Norwich in 2019-2021. It looks like he'll have another automatic promotion to his name, whether it's the title, confirmed with it as well. 91 points before play, 94 will be after play today, and 87 goals now racked up in what has been a stunning season. And it's bizarre almost that Farke's had his critics at points this season.
Yeah, it is, and it's one of those. I think there's the massive expectations and with Leeds United, but no, for me, they've been excellent, and that's the standards now. I think maybe almost at the back end of from last season as well, the fact that Ipswich and Leicester sort of won it the way that they did, that points tally, I think that's almost increased expectation for this season. But again, 4 goals already, and that goal difference far superior to Burnley, isn't it? So today definitely won't do them any harm in that sense either.
Playing it across the halfway line, the Leeds defenders. Al Hamadi is stood off a few yards, the Stoke striker, because this is comfortable, this is easy training ground stuff for Leeds. Gruev to Ampadu. Rodon's made some space, he'll receive the ball. Al Hamadi doesn't really try and chase it with purpose. It's out to the right wing, and it's an opportunity for Nonto. Now Tanaka, and then back to Ampadu, just trying to perhaps open up some space on the left of the field, which they nearly do, but miss hit by Tanaka. Millian Manhoff steps onto the present he's been given, then he threads a ball for Bay to chase, but look, straight into that spot and driving it home is Jayden Bogle. Nothing's beaten him today.
No, and the argument is, yes, Bogle does very well to get back the way he does, but that ball by Manhoff has to be better. It's overhit, it's too wide. If it's sort of more angled towards the edge of the 18-yard box, it gives Bay a better opportunity, because he'll be wrong side of Bogle.
Rodon to Bogle, Bogle attacking, Stoke on the back foot. Leeds look for that early cross, but it's come off Bay, and Bogle decides to play it backwards to Tanaka. He'll use Ethan Ampadu. It's TalkSport 2. It's the championship at its best. It's the leaders with a flourish, showing the rest just how it's meant to be done at the right time. Ball comes out to Junior Firpo. Leeds number 3 on the left hand side. Manor Solomon to Piru. Piru with 3 goals to his name in a half hour of madness here at Ellen Road. Firpo rolls it short for Aronson. Now Manor Solomon. I'm not sure what the possession stats are, but they're heavily weighted for one side, the home side, who are thinking there's maybe 5 before the break. Here's Nonto. Back to Ampadu. Ampadu, the orchestrates that. Gruev in towards the box. Firpo heads on. Bogle, lovely touch. Oh, the finish which comes off the post. It'll muddle in off Aronson. And it's Aronson who helps it over the line, I think. Well, Joe Peru's celebrating. Aronson, I think, might have had the final touch. Peru was hoping it was something to do with him. The Leeds players all celebrating together, and just minutes before the half-time, it's a fifth for Leeds. It is Joel Peru. I thought Aronson had got the final touch. It's Peru with a fourth for Leeds United. I've done him a disservice, but Peru taking all the credit and all the goals. Peru 4, Leeds 5, Stoke City 0.
Well, he was pretty sure, wasn't he, Peru? He wheeled off straight away, arms aloft, and Aronson was in and about. But for me, this touch by Jayden Bogle initially, so good, where he plucks it out the air on his left foot, brings it back in on his right, and it's close on the line.
Well, you give it to Peru, but maybe there'll be a little bit of a, not an argument, but a debate in the dressing room. We're watching a replay here. Oh, I think Aronson's missed it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, right on the line. It is Peru's goal.
I tell you what, though, even if he hadn't missed it, I think if he taps it in from there, Peru's having a word, because I know if that was me, I'd be like, why are you touching that on the line? But no, in terms of initially Bogle does ever so well, gets it onto his right foot. He actually hits the post, it cannons off the upright onto Peru, then it falls at his feet again, and it's just a snapshot. But wow, what a half from Leeds this is.
5 from Leeds as Stoke look for something in one of their only forays of the half, but gain nothing from that passage of play. Jayden Bogle brings it down the right. Bay tries to stop him. Bogle brings it infield. The Stoke players chasing him. Bogle can only stop really once he falls to the floor. And the referee awards a Leeds free kick. Well, you don't see many games where there's 5 goals in one half for this Leeds team. After maybe a nervous few minutes at the very start of the game, all of a sudden clicked into a gear which was absolutely sensational, unstoppable.
Yeah, and that's what I will say. Look, inevitably, we can't say that Stoke couldn't have done better defensively. There's no doubt about that, but it's not massive mistakes. It's just in those wide areas, Leeds have been so good. How quickly, the preciseness and the tempo that they've moved the ball to then get down the sides of Stoke and get the ball in the box. I suppose the only argument is, why hasn't it been changed earlier? They're still playing 4 at the back in the wide areas. That's the big problem because of how high, Solomon and Firpo working together, doubling up, and obviously Bogle as well with Nonto. You're probably thinking, if you're Stoke City, why have we not gone 5 at the back? That's the big criticism I would have.
Stoke still with the ball. We're very close to the half-time whistle now. There was a short stoppage of play when Al Hamadi was down injured before. Nonto ushers that ball back, and you do get the feeling in the second half now Daniel Farke does have the licence to maybe give Harry Gray a moment on the pitch in the second half. I think there's certain cushions which are impregnable.
Yeah,
5-0 for Leeds.
It would be a wonderful moment, for himself, his family, obviously the club and that dynasty. So don't get me wrong, he's not going to put him on at half time, I don't think, but maybe with 15 minutes to go, when the moment presents itself rather, I'm sure that Daniel Farke might want to do that to give Harry Gray that moment.
Manhoff bundled off the ball by Ampadu, launches it up. Here's Joel Peru looking for 5, surely not. Well, the referee's blown his whistle. Well, anything's possible with Joel Peru today. I'm not quite sure. I think we need dance here for this. What is the record number of goals a player has scored in the Championship? Because Joel Peru is unstoppable on that front today. And Stoke have it. Pearson. It must be a quite humbling, humiliating game for these Stoke City players to play through. There's absolutely no way to get a foothold in it. You're at the mercy of how good Leeds really want to be today. And they've shown that there was only going to be one winner. Johansson, 4 minutes to play. And
you're right, you're at the mercy now of Leeds, which there is going to be none. You're at the end of the season, they're here to prove a point. It's what it means in the context of promotion as well. I know obviously they've got to wait but for that game at Turf Moor, but they want to give a big show to their fans, and there's no doubt about that. They will not be stopping at 5.
Well, Junior Firpo with the throw-in. And at 5-0 you might think maybe this Leeds team have exhausted themselves. They look fresh, absolutely fresh, because they're enjoying it. As Aronson sees the ball bundle off his leg.
They've used the ball though, haven't they, Steve? They've pressed high at times, but they've earned that right. The first 2 goals, it's more about the high press, but now the ball's doing the work. It's all about how quickly they're moving. Yes, the dynamic movement's there, but it's in short bursts. They're so in control of the game, it's scary.
Here's Ampadu. Gruev now. Tanaka. Back to the captain, Ampadu again. And then Joe Rodon rolled back to the edge of the penalty area, and Carl Darlow out to Ampadu. The rain continues to fall down. It's made no significant difference to the day. It's been as enjoyable as it possibly could be. I'm just getting the stats from back at base. No player has ever scored 5 in a championship game, and I wonder whether he knows that, Peru. I bet you he asked someone at half time.
100%.
You strikers are all the same.
Yeah, any striker will go in at half time and be looking at the analysis or the stats man and going, let me know how many, because he'll want to break it. There's no doubt in my mind.
Including Chris Iwelumo, who we're going to speak to at half time. He's going to give us his wisdom as we head into that second half. But absolute sensational ride, this first 45 at Ellen Road. A day that no Leeds fans who are here will ever forget. Pearson out from the Stoke penalty area to Phillips on the right. Baker cutting a frustrated figure just ahead of him. In fact, a few of those Stoke players, you can see when the shoulders drop and maybe the extra propulsion goes out of their legs because they just don't have that ability to match their opponent. Here's Pearson again. Baker once more. Baker to Chamadou. Chamadou to Millian Manhoff. He's a long way out. He was thinking of firing a shot, but he was caught quickly by Firpo, who took possession back off him, and Leeds with Tanaka now. Oh, they played out comfortably. That's a great ball from Tanaka. Give it to Solomon. Now it's Rodon. Good passage of play, cut out by Bay.
That's the thing with Leeds. Obviously, there's been a couple of moments, and I say a couple at best, but they've nullified it so quickly. They're still concentrated.
Bay from distance, and he fires the first meaningful effort for Stoke City in added on time at the end of the first half, and it's a shot that goes wide of Carl Darlow's goal. But that is really all Stoke City have had to offer.
Yeah, it was never trouble in Darlow, and he's talking about the strikers and Peru, who wants to know about obviously the goals, but trust me, this clean sheet will be important to this Leeds team as well. It's not a case of, oh, we've won the game and that's it. They will want to do it at a canter, at a fashion, and making sure that they come away with that clean sheet as well.
Long ball from Ethan Ampadu up towards Nonto. His control wasn't bad. Squirms his way round the fullback. Oh! No. Referee awards a foul just as Aronson was thinking of other things and Solomon was available in the box.
I'm not convinced. I'm really not convinced with that one. I mean, he's not, but I almost just feel like Darren Bond at that point's taking a little bit of pity on Stoke City, but Nonto does well. Initial first touch, and there it is. What a first half we've had.
Half-time, Leeds are charging to the Premier League in a fashion never seen before in the Championship. They had to beat Stoke City here at Ellen Road today. They've not just beaten them, they put them out of sight in admirable fashion. 5 first half goals, 4 of them